Hello and welcome back to my channel, Handheld Computing. Today we're going to have a look at this little PDA. So this is the same size as a PC card and it's got a touchscreen with black and white display. So let's have a look at it. So let's take a look. On the right hand side we've got the battery doors for the two 2016 cells. On the back we've got the reset button and nothing else. On the left side we've got the connector slot for the standard PC card. On the top and bottom it's blank, and on the front we've got the LCD panel with 7 silkstream buttons leading to the most used functions, and we've got 5 buttons down the right hand side: a home, a back, an enter, an up and left, and a down and right. Here's the spec sheet. As you can see, it's not exactly a powerful PDA, but it does have a high pixel density and battery life claimed as being 6 months. This is achieved in part by the use of flash storage, which requires no power to retain data, unlike other handhelds of the time, which store data in RAM. As you can see, compared to the 1998 Philips Nino or the 2001 Palm M505, the Rex is tiny. It's also massively thinner than either of them. So powering on for the first time, we get the intro screen and then the touchscreen calibration. And here we are at the first screen. So this is the home screen. As you can see, up at the top we've got the date, we've got main, and we've got extras. So main is this page, extras is where any installed applications would be. As you can see, the screen is quite sharp. If I zoom out, next to the M505, you can see the contrast remains very good, and it has a relatively high pixel density compared to the Palm, and it's got much better contrast than the Philips Nino. So under the top bar we've got the main applications: calendar, contacts, tasks, memos, web, calculator, clock, and controls, and at the bottom we've got the silkscreen buttons that correspond to all of them except controls. We're going to set it up first. So we'll go to control. I want to set the sound so that it clicks when we tap the screen. Just a bit of feedback helps a lot when it'll do it. That's it. We'll go back to the home screen, back into control so you can see the other applications. So obviously we can set the time and date. I'm not actually going to bother, I'm just going to leave it where it is. So it's defaulted to its original date back in 2000. If we move across on controls, we've got the power options. Just tells you how good the battery is, and it's got the time off. So I'm going to set that to 60 seconds is fine. Going back, we've got security, so you can set a PIN number in order to get in. We're not going to bother with that. We've got the memory. This tells you how much is left. As I say, it is stored in flash, and I haven't been able to do a hard reset. I'm unsure how. If anyone knows, please let me know, because I do need to remove all this information. We've got preferences, and then we've got extras. So this is where any additional programs would be stored, and you can erase them from there. That's the screen calibration, which we've just done. Information about me, and a bit of information about the Rex itself. So there we go. So let's have a look at the calendar. Lovely. So at the top we've got the date, we've got arrows letting you move forwards and backwards through the week. As you can see at the bottom we've got a string of buttons. We've got new, today, day, and then we've got 2 different views. We've got the week view, which shows time bars, and we've got the month view, which is like a calendar view. And again, you can sidle backwards and forwards to find the date you want to go through, and clicking on it will take you to it. Let's pop an entry in. So we're going to hit new. So as you can see, it pops up with an on-screen keyboard. There's no handwriting recognition, so everything's got to be inputted using the on-screen keyboard. So we'll start with the subject. Lovely, and then set a place. Once you've done that, it takes you to the adjustment screen, which lets you set the time, whether you want it all day, the actual date, so you can change it, whether it's reoccurring, and whether you want an alarm or not. Down at the bottom, we can also add a note. So we just pop the keyboard up. There we have it. You can re-edit it, so you can select it, if it'll let me, and then you can edit, copy, paste, etc, etc. So if I copy that, we can tap there and then we can paste it. You can pop the keyboard back up, so you can select a place and then pop the keyboard back up and then edit from there. It's a little weird how it chooses to do it. As you can see, it didn't really show me the rest of the line. Clicking OK takes us back to there, so we'll hit done. And it's saved it into the agenda. So there it is in the day view. Again, if we pop into the week view, you can see there's a block there. And in the month view, we don't see anything, and that's just because that's for selecting your day. If we go back to today, selecting the agenda entry will bring up a panel showing you the note. Unfortunately, in the day view, it doesn't tell you if there's a note or not, which I think is a shame. And once you're in here, you've got modify, which takes you back to the screen to edit your entry, so edit any details. So we'll cancel that, yes. It is very slow on some changes, some applications. So we'll just hit OK. There we are. If you go back into it, and this time if we hit follow up, it creates an identical entry, including the note, and then you can just change the time. So if we put one a couple of hours later, like that, and hit done, and hit OK, so that's saved, and now you'll see there's two entries there, and in the week view we'll see it as two separate bars. So that could be useful if you've got a reoccurring appointment that's ad hoc, and so you could just copy the appointment and move it to another day. So we'll come out of there. So we'll have a look at the contacts. So I've blurred this out, and that's because there's a ton of contacts in here. There must be over 200, because it's stored in Flash and I haven't been able to do a hard reset. So we'll figure that one out another time. In here at the top, it tells you it's contacts. If you tap the top button, you can select the category you want to sort through. And then along here, we've got shortcuts to the letters. We've got a new button. We can sort by last name, we can sort by first name, and we can sort by company. Then we can do phone showing up or email showing up. So we'll go back to phone. We're going to put a new entry in so you can see how it works. So we'll hit new. My old buddy James T. Kirk. So once you put those in, it brings up a list of different options that you might want to fill in. So perhaps we'll pop a phone number in, or a work email since I've tapped that. So that'll do nicely. Down here, we've got the various views. So we're currently in numbers, which includes emails, of course. This is for a work address. This is for a home address. And then at the bottom, again, we can add notes. Once you've done, we can save it. Lovely, so it's brought the contact up at the top. I'm just going to click on it so you can see how it comes up. There we are, so we can see the note. Down at the bottom, we can see the home address, that is, then the work address, and then we can see the other details. Again, we can hit modify, so we can go back in and change things, same as before. We can delete it, or we can simply hit the back button to return to the contacts list. Tasks. So at the top, we've just got tasks. It doesn't have a button for categories, which is unfortunate because categories are very useful when creating a to-do list or a task list in order to separate them. So we've got new and we've got a sort button. We can sort by priority or due date. And if we hit new, we'll create an entry. So once we've done that, we can choose a start date. So we'll leave it as today. We can create a due date and we can set a priority. We've only got 3 priority levels. So again, we've not got the 5 that we're used to on the Palm. We've got the 3 more like the Pocket PC. So we can set a priority, and as in the other applications, you can add a note. So that's fine. Once that's done, it'll save it in the flash. And there it is. So you've got a tick box to tick it when it's done. Again, it doesn't disappear. There's no way to view only active tasks. So all of the ones that are ticked get shunted to the bottom, but they're still there. You can't remove them unless you delete them. Again, I think this is remiss. It would be nice to be able to filter by category and also display active or inactive tasks. So memos or notepad, as you can see, there's a few entries already in. These are actually the standard ones that come on the Palm. So whoever owned this must have had a Palm as well. Okay, so we'll just pop out of that. So in here, we've got a filter, so we can filter by categories, and there are no categories in, but we could. And then down at the bottom, we've got new, but no other options, so we can't sort in verse alphabetically or by date or anything like that. But we'll hit new, and what you get is a title. Once you've filled in your title, which is the bit you'll see on the list in the application, you can then add your note. And there we are, so there's the note. As before, we've got edit, so we can select things. We can copy and paste them. And then we can also add in with the keyboard, if I get that in the right place. We can pop the keyboard up. As I say, it doesn't show anything going in front or behind, but we could add a space there to create a better view. Once that's done, we can then create a category. So we'll pop new. Handheld computing, that's fine. And now that's categorized. Hit OK. And OK again. And that's now saved. Heading into a note, we get the modify screen. So again, it takes us back to here. We can change the category, edit the note itself. What you can't do is edit the title of the note, so that remains the same. And we should now be able to filter by category. When it'll let me. There we are, handheld computing, and that's the one. So web. So I'm sure 20 years ago we could have used this to clip some information from a web page and view them offline later, whipping this out of our pocket and impressing people. However, the servers that would have altered the web in order for us to view it no longer exist, and most web pages are far too complicated to reduce to just text. So this is obsolete. Moving on, we've got the calculator. The calculator does exactly what you would expect. Calculates. And last but not least, we've got the clock. Look at these graphics showing you where the sunlight is at the moment. very fast draw sequence, as you can see. So on here you can tap anywhere and it'll bring up the nearest city for you and tell you what the time is relative to your time zone. Tapping on the left hand side you can alter the time zone that you're in, and tapping on the right you can alter the visiting time zone, like so. All very exciting. Every time this page opens it refreshes that image, so very exciting. Here's a few accessories for it. So you get this clear plastic case. Popping it in leaves the buttons exposed so you can still access everything via the menu system. And then on the top there is a stylus. The stylus is horrible in my opinion, and also you need to remove it from the case in order to use it, so it's a little bit redundant if you ask me. But that's one of the options. And the other option, which is a nice case in my opinion, is this. So it's a wallet case. It's got a single card slot on one side, and when you open it up there's a pad of paper. The elastic is snapped on the middle bit, but as you can see there'd be space for perhaps a pen or a pencil. You could use a rounded end pencil as a stylus at one end and a pencil at the other, and the device itself just slots into the case, and of course that will also stop the ports from getting blocked with dust and things. So I think that's quite a nice case, and obviously very neat. Pop it back in your pocket, and these days with contactless payments that might be everything you need to carry apart from your phone, obviously. And last but not least, of course, for those people who do not have a PC card slot on the computer, you can buy a cradle like this, which of course will synchronize with the computer. It's USB enabled, so it may work with Windows 10. We'll find out at a later date. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that little overview of how it works. I'm going to use this for the next couple of months and have a look online and find the software for it, fill up those extras, find out how to do a hard reset and get rid of the last person's data, and then we'll pop back and have another look and do a breakdown of what's good and what's bad. Any comments, please comment below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit like if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe and hit that little bell so you don't miss my next video. Bye for now.